Sitting second in the table, through to the last 8 of the Cup, and with Europe due to kick off in August, there was plenty to look forward to. Firstly though, we need to take a look at what's been happening in the transfer market. On the opening day of the transfer window outside Norway, Fredrik Borsting completed his move to Fortuna Sittard for 60,000 that we arranged in the previous Norwegian window. Felix Hornmura did complete his £2 million switch to Lens, although we managed to get him to stay for an extra week to play the match against Rosenborg. You'll see later if that proved worthwhile. Ruben Ittegard Jensen will be joining us for next season. He is already 35 but is clinging on to his physical attributes reasonably well. Did try and sign him in this window, but I made a bit of a mess of things and we're just going to have to wait. With that deal on hold, it was important to try and get a replacement for Mura somewhat sooner. So Brazilian 32-year-old free agent Wellington was brought in to try and fill the gap. The biggest move of the window though was undoubtedly the sale of Bård Finne to Genk for £3.5 million. He had announced he was going to see out his contract, so we decided to cash in while we could. The saga of his departure did cause some trouble within the squad, but that's subsided now that he's actually gone. Replacing him is Simone Zaza, a 32-year-old Italian. With Finne gone, we've changed our approach up front to using a target forward, which certainly matches up with what Zaza provides and also actually better suits Hegebo. Once the Norwegian window finally opened, German goalkeeper Max Weiss arrived. He's only 19 and one for the future and will replace Eirik Holmen Johansen in the squad. With our weakest spot in the squad being right back, Sturla Otterson was brought in for 190,000 from Stabæk. He's already able to challenge for the starting spot and, at only 22, we have high hopes of a good deal of improvement from him in the coming years. Another young defender was brought in a few days later in the form of Max Norman Williamson. The 20-year-old set us back an initial fee of 750,000 plus add-ons, but he is already a viable option at centre-back and again hopes are high of him becoming one of the Elitserien star defenders. The final permanent deal of the window was yet another look to the future, this time a bit more distant, as Sean Nielsen Modebe came in for just £3,000 from Ullensaker Kisa. At just 16 years old, he's not the finished article yet, but if he fulfills his potential we could be looking at one of the best bargain buys around. Vélez opened the scoring in this one from the spot in the dying embers of the first half. The Chilean was involved in the second too, slipping the ball to Jensen Vasberg, who curled it into the bottom corner. Vélez made it 3-0 with a cracking free kick from the right side of the box. We should have coasted to victory from there, but Vålerenga were allowed a route back into the match when Thorvaldsson ran onto a ball over the top before finishing a mazy run inside the box with a powerful shot from close range. The gap was reduced to 1 when he repeated the trick 10 minutes later. We held out though and took the 3 points. This was Mura's last match and looked to be a tough test, but we took the lead when Hegebo headed home at the far post on 21 minutes. Rosenborg hit back 15 minutes later when yet another Thorvaldsson got in behind us and lashed home the equaliser. A little over 10 minutes remained when Rosenborg claimed the winner, Holser's low cross being fired home at the near post by Videsheim Paul. It was back to the cup and it couldn't have started much better, Christensen's cross being powered home by Hegebo after only 2 minutes. Søndal's equaliser had a touch of comedy about it. A good move put Flataker in, only for his shot to hit the post, then Dingerland's back before bobbling into the net. We retook the lead shortly before the break, Finne's free kick being nodded back into the danger area by Freitas, where Jakobsen fired us back in front. The result, and a place in the semis, was sealed when Freitas again proved his value in the air, forcing a save from a corner before Finne pounced on the rebound. We took the lead in this one after 8 minutes when Vélez gratefully accepted the Molde challenge to beat the goalkeeper on his side from a free kick. 8 minutes from the end though, a worldie from Kitolano levelled things up and gave Molde a share of the spoils they hadn't really done enough to earn. Pallesen Knudsen nodded home from close range after Hegebo got the ball back across goal following a corner to give us an early lead. It wasn't long before it was doubled, Blomberg crossing low for Hegebo to finish. The striker was on target again just before the hour, this time a cross from Muller-Wolf on the left, providing the cross for him to head home. The left back got another assist in the 73rd minute, finding Velez in yards of space on the edge of the area, Michelayan curling a beauty into the top corner to make the final score 4-0. It took over half an hour, but any worries we were going to miss Bård Finner were dismissed when Hegebo continued his good form and smashed one in from 25 yards. Ulrik Matheson, who had been complaining about a lack of game time, backed up his argument with a nice curling finish from the edge of the box to make it 2-0 early in the second half. The game was put beyond doubt with 15 minutes left as a wide open Velez latched onto Blomberg's pullback. He scored what is rapidly becoming a trademark free kick to put the gloss on another excellent win. So at the end of July, our form continues to be good, with a slight blip away to Rosenborg aside. Through to the semi-finals of the Cup and back-to-back 4-0 wins in the league have kept us in second place. This one was settled by a goal from new signing Wellington in injury time at the end of the first half, slotting home from the pullback from Munga Simba, himself freshly returned from a loan spell in Sweden. Our European adventure got off to the perfect start as the ball was moved well following a throw-in to find Jensen Vasberg in space on the edge of the box, from where he crashed the ball home. Within 2 minutes though, he was guilty of giving the ball away just outside his own penalty area, allowing Aral Shimshir to slip Maroni in, who dispatched the finish with aplomb. Midtjylland looked like they had taken the lead on 22 minutes, but Aral Shimshir mistimed his run onto Ashur's ball and the goal was chalked off. We didn't threaten again until just after the half hour, a neat passing move landing at the feet of Blomberg, but he fired his shot from distance over the bar. The game was starting to come to life, and after forcing Dingeland to concede a couple of corners in quick succession, Midtjylland recycled possession, got Ashur in down the right, and he crossed to the near post to combine with Aral Shimshir again, and this time it counted. They didn't have long to enjoy their lead though, as we hit back immediately. Pedersen finding Blomberg in space before the winger swung a crossover for the in-form Hegebo to plant beyond Lorsel to make it 2-2. The Danish side threatened to retake the lead in injury time in the first half, keeping possession well before working Paulinho into space. He advanced on goal but couldn't find the finish, and the half ended all square. The second half began as the first had ended, and the action peaked 2 minutes after the break. Heltner Nielsen unleashed a horrendous tackle on Sorensen, launching himself from behind and guaranteeing himself an early bath. Midtjylland added further to his punishment by scoring from the free kick. Taylor, who played the initial ball in from the dead ball, was never picked up, and when Sviatchenko found him in acres of space, he bore down on goal and blasted past Dingeland. The game died a death after that, Midtjylland controlling the game but never threatening to add to their 3-2 lead, setting up the second leg nicely. Hot on the heels of a tough European match, we faced league leaders Bodo Glimt and took the lead midway through the first half when Blomberg headed home Wellington's cross. The second half was a different story though, and when Zugel equalised for Bodo, you felt the tide had turned. That feeling intensified when Vetlesen pounced on a loose ball to put the home side ahead, and Amundsen signed off in magnificent style with Bodo's third in injury time. We started the second leg with a 1-goal deficit and without our best player, and things quickly got worse as Moroni converted Kaufmann's cross from close range. Any realistic hope of turning things around was lost when Ashur was played in by Isaacson and finished into the far corner. Midtjylland still weren't done though, Kaufmann adding another just a couple of minutes later. We did have the final say, Matheson putting the finish to a pass from Velez, but it was too little too late and the tie finished 6-3 to the Danes. Off the back of 3 straight defeats, we needed a confidence boost, and a penalty shortly before half-time gave us one. Heltner Nielsen back on the pitch and converting. We gave away a spot kick early in the second half though, to gift Barman the chance to put Olsson back on terms. We restored our lead 20 minutes from time when Castergren failed to deal with Matheson's cross and Zaza got to the loose ball first to nod home his first goal for the club. Jensen Vasberg put the seal on another 3 points when he thumped the ball in off the inside of the post from the edge of the box. Lillestrøm took the lead in this one just after the quarter hour when Lena Olsen outjumped our defence to head home. It took until the last minute of the 90 for us to get back level. Castro, finally back from injury, crossing low for Hegebo to drill home from 10 yards out. This episode's featured man is Jairo Velez. Signed in the off-season for just $12,500, the Chilean has proved an excellent purchase. His form in July, in particular, a month in which he scored 6 goals, assisted for another and was awarded the Elite Syrian Player of the Match. Whilst his form in August has not been so hot, that is largely down to the injury to Nicolas Castro that forced us to play Velez 7 times in little over a month, which led to some tired performances in mid-August. A look at his statistics show that he gets a lot of shots away and, more often than not, they're on target. Very few of the Elite Syrian score higher in either category. He is also a wizard with the ball at his feet, often setting off on a dribble and forcing the opposition to resort to crude methods to stop him, something they should be wary of doing too close to the area given his prowess from free kicks. Europe didn't really do us any favours as we fell at the first hurdle, and a disruption to team selection resulted in a few dropped points, although losing away to Bodo Glimt was to be expected. We still sit third in the table and are into the semi-finals of the Cup, with Christiansen from the division below providing a very good shot at the final. If all goes well in the next couple of months, a European berth should be all but assured. After this season's experience, we'll need to have a stronger squad to cope better with that next season if we do qualify. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.